Hey, what's up guys? Houston here. Let me ask you, are you struggling to get your credit score up over 100 points? Alright, now the reason I'm asking that is because I know it's a lot of information out there about fixing your credit and everything. You may have tried some of this and tried some of that or whatever, but one of the things that I always ask people, have you tried adding positive traits to your credit file? And here's the reason why, and I continue to tell you this. The more positive accounts you have on the credit file, it overrides the negative accounts. So even if you don't take the negative accounts off of the credit file, by you adding more positive trade lines, and I always say for every negative trade line you need at least 2 to 3 positive trade lines to get things done. Now here's the thing about it, I know people do, is that they will pull up their Credit Karma file, right? And what they'll do, they'll challenge the negative items off of their Credit Karma file. And there's nothing wrong with that, except here's the thing about it, within 48 to 72 hours, poof, the negative account is gone and your credit shoots up, right? However, dispute has not populated over to the credit bureaus that the banks actually pull from, because Credit Karma does a Vantage 3 score, right? And so Vantage 3 scores actually update faster than your FICO scores, in which the banks primarily rely on. So it's like a facade. Yeah, the score went up, but it's up there temporarily until they do a thorough investigation, which again, like I said, sometimes can take anywhere from 25 up to 35 days for it to update to see if it's actually a real dispute. That being said, here's some of the positive trade lines that I would tell you to do, and a lot of people are missing out on, but it's going to help your credit file even if you have negative items on the credit. And the first one, adding rent, is going to do 3 things for you. Number one, adding rent, okay, adding rent. Now you're like, what do you mean by that, and how is that even beneficial? Well, here's the thing about it. With a lot of lenders, all right, they usually want to see you have a file that's at least 2 years or older if they're trying to give you like a loan or something like that, right? And so while you showing that you've been paying rent on time, if that data is picked up, that helps age your credit file. All right, so that's the reason I'm telling you to add your rent payments, because it's actually going to help age the credit file. The next thing it's going to do is going to qualify for mortgage. That's right. A lot of people been ignoring adding rent on their credit because they don't understand the benefits of actually doing it, because especially if you're trying to get a mortgage. If you're trying to get a mortgage, this is one of the best opportunities and the best strategies for you to actually do that. And for most people, they're like, oh, they're steady giving the person they're renting from cash or money order. You need to stop doing that, because it's actually hurting you. It's actually hurting you because you're not getting any credit. So you're paying $1,000, $1,500, you know, or you may be staying with your parent or something, or you may be roommates and y'all collaborating and you're still paying $1,000, like up in LA or Vegas or somewhere where rents may be a little higher. Taking that money, putting that money in the bank account, and then sending them a check to help pay the rent is better than you actually giving them cash or a money order, because now you can actually use that documentation to help track it so that you can qualify for a mortgage. All right, so that's the second way that rent helps you. The third way that rent helps, adding positive trade line just from your rent. You have 3 benefits just from your rent. Okay, I know a lot of people say, and I've said it in the past, put your rent on your credit report, put your rent on your credit report. But this is 3 major reasons why you want to put your rent on your credit report. Now, the second strategy of this is secured credit cards. All right, so then you have your, you have secured credit cards, right? Now, you want to go for secured credit cards that actually don't do a hard pull on your credit. Now, I know that there's cards out there like a Fit credit card, a Progressive credit card, and stuff like that. Those credit cards you don't want. you want credit cards that are actually associated with a financial institution like the major banks. So even like the credit unions, I would say even the credit unions probably be much easier. All right. So with credit unions, you have Andrews Federal Credit Union, right? And so a $15 savings account to get in with them. But you can actually get a secured credit card with no hard pull on the credit. SD Federal Credit Union. State Department Federal Credit Union. So in order to join them, it's through the American Consumer Council, the ACC. You can join them. But when you join them and everything, you're able to get a secured credit card without a hard pull. Now, again, I know you all like, okay, why would I do a secured card when there's so many unsecured cards and stuff? But if they're with a high-risk financial institution, again, you trying to build up a relationship with an institution not only going to give you a credit card, but you want a financial institution that's going to be able to give you lines of credit and loans as well. So that's the reason you want to go with like one of these financial institutions here. All right. And then another one is now you do have to, with USAA, you do have to have some type of military affiliation. But they have a secured credit card with Amex. Now, that doesn't mean that if you have a secured credit card with them, that you automatically get approved with American Express. That doesn't mean that, okay? But they have a secured credit card. You can get it with a regular secured credit card or Amex. So you have an alternative. Adding to that is that by you actually you can add two or three of these if you want to. So you can have multiple credit unions if you want to. Now, another thing you have to have in order to help you balance out the file, I would say a secured loan. So these here financial institutions, they offer secured loans as well. So you may not end up with a hard inquiry on the credit file for that as well. Now, I know some of you are like, well, I don't have extra money for a secured card or a secured loan, and that's okay, because I'll tell you about some lenders that actually work with people without doing the credit check that's able to loan you funding. So we're going to talk about that as well. All right. Now, the next one that you want to do is, again, all authorized users are not the same, okay? All authorized users are not the same. And because all authorized users are not the same, you may invest into an authorized user, and you have to be careful about this, because I've said this several times. Somebody may get a brand new $25,000 authorized credit card, right? And it may be a spouse or a mother or loved one or something, and they add you on as authorized user. In terms of the history of it, because it's a new authorized user, you don't actually get any benefit out of it. You get the $25,000, but there's no history to it, okay? And so your history is more important. Now, with the $25,000 balance out your credit file, absolutely. Absolutely, because it helps with your DTI, debt to income ratio, all right?